David McLaughlin, former Chief of Staff for Brian Mulroney, joins us now. David, thank you for your time this afternoon. Tonight's debate in English, of course, serves a much larger audience across the country. After what we saw last night from all the four leaders, what are your hopes from Pierre Poilievre, and how must he address the audience tonight?
Well, I think Mr. Poilievre, who did not badly, frankly, in last night's debate in French, I think he will continue sort of the same tone. He came across as fairly reasonable. He came across as somebody who's informed on the issues and knowledgeable and ready to sort of talk about the things that are on people's minds. He's clearly trying to move the election to a change election. He really keeps coming back to, do you want to give the Liberal government another fourth term, another 4 years? He needs that to be the ballot question. So let's look for Poilievre to really reinforce in the English debate tonight that sort of dynamic, that kind of narrative that, the Liberals do not deserve another 4 years. That's what he needs. Otherwise, it's going to be, it's winding up in Mr. Carney in the Liberals' favor because of course, the American Trump dynamic that has taken root in the campaign.
And that brings me to my next question. Is the question that he needs to put out really about a next Liberal term, or is it about who can really stand up to Donald Trump and Trump's tariffs? Because many within the Conservative camp have also said that it was important for Pierre Poilievre to pivot in his messaging, especially last couple of weeks, and talk more about how Canada needs to do more, the Conservatives can do more when it comes to building a stronger country against the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, that is the conundrum that he faces, because the American dynamic with Trump is really something that plays in the favor of the Liberals, in part because the Conservatives were late to this party in terms of identifying it as an issue and saying, look, we're going to do something about it. They've been fighting this rearguard battle that they are really Trump light. They're like they're closest to the Make America Great, slogan that we see. So it's a problem for him. But what he needs to do is of course, he's going to talk about it, but he has to say, look, I've got the best plan to deal with it. And you've got to be able to show that plan is different from what has been in the case of the Liberals in the past. It's what I think you've identified, Akshay, is really it's that very difficult line that Mr. Poilievre has to walk in order to sort of speak on both of these issues. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Okay, I'm going to bring up a graphic here, David, that talks about who is the preferred prime minister. There are several polls doing the rounds, but let's take a look at the Globe and Mail Nanos poll that we have here. There is a double-digit lead, 13% point advantage that Mark Carney has going into this debate tonight as a preferred prime minister versus Pierre Poilievre with about just below 34%. Should the candidates in the opposition be worried about this statistic? And can the debate tonight, you think, make a difference in these numbers?
Well, look, absolutely, Mr. Carney and the Liberals are ahead because of that. Mr. Carney leads, as we've seen this throughout the campaign and even before, as best prime minister. Look, I've run election campaigns provincially in 2 provinces. I always like it when my candidate is seen as the best leader. So this is advantage Carney, advantage Liberals. So the problem then for Mr. Poilievre and the other leaders is, well, how do I kind of tarnish that image of Mr. Carney of being prime minister while trying to show myself as being prime minister? Because at the end of the day, people aren't voting for an opposition leader. They'll put you in opposition, but they want to vote for a prime minister. So again, Mr. Poilievre has to kind of walk that line of being able to show that he is ready to do this job, that people can see in him a potential prime minister. But in order to do that, he has to act like an opposition leader in order to, kind of bring down the image of Mr. Carney. So it's absolutely advantage Carney on this.
Right.
And it's advantage Carney not just because of his background and his credentials, but because of Trump. The whole American dynamic has said to Canadians, we don't want to take a chance, potentially, on somebody who's not exactly ready in any way, in some fashion. Carney seems ready, and he's been, dining out on that and winning votes accordingly. So it's a very important number that you just showed.
Yeah, briefly, if you could, David, if you had a one-line advice for Pierre Poilievre tonight, what would that be?
Speak directly to Canadians. Just say, this is what I'm going to do for you. I understand you. I'm on your side. I'm on your team. Here's how I'm going to make your life better.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Former Chief of Staff for Brian Mulroney, David McLaughlin. Appreciate your time and your expertise, David. Thank you.
My pleasure.